know some of you motherfuckers, when it come to this goddamn Real Housewives review, act like you know these bitches. But let me tell you one thing, we're not gonna do that this season. You will get motherfucking blocked with the realness. You can have your opinion about these hoes, but don't come at me about mine. It's a fucking opinion about some bitches that you or I don't fucking know. The only difference is I'm getting paid to do this review. You ain't. So mind your motherfucking marbles, bitches, because some of you hoes, when it comes to these Real Housewives, are fucking psycho. Just getting that shit out in the open before we even start this season, because I have never reviewed a show where bitches is more fucking retarded over some bitches that they don't fucking know in my life.
What's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on? This is your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 9, Episode 12, okay? Y'all already heard the disclaimer before we even get started, okay? Let me let you guys know what the ground rules are in this bitch, okay? It's Sunday afternoon. You know, I normally do my reviews on Saturday night, but however, I was out celebrating Dario's 30th birthday last night, and we had such a great time last night. It was a vibe. It was great. I was just tired as hell, but I was able to go and support him and celebrate him and bring my ass home so I can go to sleep. That's why y'all didn't get no review last night, but y'all getting it today. But before we get into anything, let me let you guys know this right here, okay? This is my channel. This is my platform. This is my review. This is a recap that I get paid to do, okay? That's number one. Number two, all of my subscribers or the people that casually watch me from time to time, you are here to give your opinion and your opinion only. You can leave it in the chat. We can all discuss, you know, talk about the show, whatever we want to do. We can always do that. There is no issue. State your opinion, but don't fight with each other in the chat, and please don't fight with me. And number three, it is my opinion, mine, okay? The opinion of Scotty by Nature TV should not affect you and how you feel, okay? I'm not here to satisfy you nor pacify you. I'm here to give you guys a review. I'm here to entertain you guys and go on about my business. However you feel about me is none of my business, okay? So, with that being said, that's pretty much all that we got for the you know, the disclaimers or whatever. So let's go ahead and get into what else we got coming on. Let's see. So today is Sunday, so just know that we got the Real Housewives of Potomac tonight, okay? I should be going live right after the show for that. And y'all should be getting a Married to Medicine review after that as well. And then tomorrow is the Whether You Like It or Not panel. And we will be over on Sakina's page on tomorrow. And the Whether You Like It or Not Beverly Hills panel, which is on Wednesday, they all agreed to bring it back over here since me and Really B will be able to do it this week. So yes, the Whether You Like It or Not Beverly Hills panel will be over on my platform. Whatever you do, please support it. Please support the Beverly Hills version of Whether You Like It or Not panel. You know, just give us that support. Come over and do and you know, do your due deals and everything like that, okay? What else is going on? And then on Tuesday, we got the Love and Hip Hop Miami review as well as the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta review, okay? I do miss Rosa review already. I really do, although we closed it out on a whack-ass interview. But however, I already miss Rosa review. I love working with T and JoJo. Rosa review was probably my favorite panel right after the Chasing panel. I just this particular season of Roast Review really has been great. Y'all, the reception has been lovely. Y'all have been very supportive of the three of us. And I'm trying to figure out what can we do to get that momentum, keep that momentum going, because I really want to do something else. I kind of want me and Josiah to come back, Josiah and T to come back, and because I know that me and T have talked about the interview that we did Wednesday separately, but I also wanted us to come and talk about it as a collective sometime this week. You know, get our thoughts, everybody's thoughts and opinions, and talk about it publicly. But you know, they probably tired of talking about this damn interview at this point, because God knows I'm tired of it. Everybody feels however they want to feel. But however, I will say this, regardless of how everything went with that interview, I have to honestly say that 90% of the comments was actually pretty positive, you know, as far as what we did. Most of the reading went to Latrice, as it should have, because we did our job. So I can honestly say that, you know, I did have my feelings about the interview, but it's okay. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to get into this Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion. And yes, honey, yes, Too Feisty. Yes, I'm giving you understand and I give you escape tease. Okay. That's exactly what I'm giving you. Okay. You don't really know me. You just want to do what you want to do. But that's not the way it should be. No, you better listen to me, boy. I try so very hard to make you understand. But the choices you make, baby, they are on demand. Don't get me started because I sing this whole motherfucking interview. This whole review. And y'all know y'all don't like for me to sing this entire. Y'all don't like for us reviewers to sing. I see how y'all be giving Bunny the blues. Y'all don't like for us to sing, child. So I'll be trying to keep my singing short and sweet. Okay, because I know how y'all feel about it. Okay, but y'all know I'm a musical person at heart, and I gotta incorporate music in there some kind of way. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this episode now. Let's just be honest here and let me be real here. This episode was a bore, okay? It was boring, okay? But I think I say this on every review that I do for this show. It's pretty much, something that we all say. It's boring. And I think it's boring because we're sick of it. I think it's boring because it's too much going on that we don't care about. That's why I feel like it's so boring. And isn't the finale next week? I hope that the finale is next week so we can move on, get to this reunion, and move away from this goddamn show because I'm sick of it, okay? It's boring as hell. And I don't know how long this review gonna be. I got some notes on here. It's probably gonna be about 30 minutes. I got a feeling it's probably gonna be 30 minutes. But we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing. It's over 150 of y'all up in here so far. We already got 200. We close to 200. By the way, let me inform y'all on something because I told y'all we got a goal this year to go between 60 to 65K this year. That's our goal. The minimum goal is 60. The maximum goal is 65K. So hopefully we reach our goal this year. Okay. Now, let me let you guys know one more thing too. We're almost at 56K, y'all. We need 12 more subscribers to get the 56K. Okay, that's what we need. 12 more subs to get the 56K. That's what we need. I wonder if we're gonna get those 12 subscribers in this review or not. I hope so, but that's what we need to get the 56K. We need 12 more people to subscribe today in order for us to get the 56K. But like I said, the minimum is 60. K and the maximum is 65K. So we're gonna see what we're gonna do. Okay. Now let's go ahead and get into the review. So we're gonna start this thing off with Chris and Nell. So it's Chris, Nell, Lance, Kayla, and Lil Chris. They all show up to look at this damn venue for this vow renewal ceremony and stuff like that. Yes, New Zealand is in the house, honey. But they looking at this venue for this vow renewal ceremony. They seem to really like it and things like that. And they're just looking around. They seem to be okay with it and things like that. But one thing I'm really needing for them to do for this damn vow renewal ceremony, first of all, I need for Nell to get her a better wig because I get so sick of these drawstring wigs she be wearing. I'm so sick of it. Please give us another wig, Nell. I'm just saying, I don't really like to come for women's hair like that. But Nell, girl, we need another wig from you because these wigs that you be wearing, they do not be giving you the business, okay? They be giving you bankrupt business, not the real business, but bankrupt business. I just can't do the damn wigs, okay? I just can't do them. Now, while they're looking at it, like I said, they're pretty much in tune with it. They're okay with that. So they were talking about the things that everybody's gonna do. Like Kayla's gonna be involved. I think she said with flowers and shit. Don't get me wrong. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong because let me tell y'all, baby. I was laying in this bed watching this episode, really not enthused at all by anything they were talking about. So I probably got the positions and shit all the way wrong, but just let me know if I did. But however, I think she said Kayla was over the flowers and that Lance was doing like the music and the DJ and shit like that. But he feels like because Lil Chris is into music, he feels like Lil Chris should be the one that's over the music and stuff like that. So Lil Chris was like, well, yeah, man, I know people around here, man. Yeah, I can find us a DJ, you know, whatever. And then Nell like, well, you know what your mama like, right? You know what your mama like, 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 all that other stuff, right? So then, you know, they was like, well, Lance, what are you going to be doing? Child, I forgot what the fuck Lance said that he was going to be doing, but it's very significant. But, oh, yeah, I know what he said. He said, I chose to do this. I think that we should go and visit grandma's grave, you know, before everything happens. I feel like it's time. We haven't done it, and we need to do it. And Nell was pretty much, you know, in her feelings about it. You know, she got a little emotional about it, which is very crazy because I'm telling you why. Because January is a triggering month for me. My auntie's death anniversary, her 3rd year death anniversary was last week. My friend Danita's her 2-year anniversary, death anniversary was just a couple of days ago. And now we're getting ready for my cousin's 3-year death anniversary, all in one month. And this month is very triggering. So watching this stuff and seeing how Nell getting so emotional about it, it really, you know, tickled me. And not tickled me in a like in a hilarious way, but it tickled me in my emotional standpoint, because it's like, oh girl, I know how you feel. But I can only imagine doing that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, these parents is nothing to take for granted. Like, I love my mama. I have come close to losing my mama. And that's one of my biggest things that I never want to face is losing my mama. So just seeing, and I got 2 friends that lost their mamas last year, months apart. Like, we lost 2 of our very own in our friend group. So it's very much so hard to watch people lose their parents and seeing how they have to go on and how their life change and how their personalities change and stuff like that. So yes, I definitely understand that. And even with my mama, like, you know, my mama was raised by her grandmother, not by her mom, but by her grandmother from 6 weeks old on up. And my great grandmother, which is my mom's grandmother, she died in 93, and my mama still be going through it with that. Like, she still grieves even today, and that was like in 93. So that was like, what, 32 years ago. So that's been a long time. So I get it and I understand. And I just hope that Nell gets a little bit of healing. You know, I've even thought about going to see a grief counselor, because as y'all know, I've been mourning a lot of people over the last couple of years. You know what I mean? Especially in 2023. Like, that was the worst year in the world. So, you know, grief counseling is nothing wrong with it. You know, sometimes you learn to deal with it. You never really get over certain things, but you learn to deal with it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the gist of that. So moving on to the next topic. Trisha goes out with her kids. You know, they go to this what is it? They go to this thing where, you know, that you jumping on everything and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of High Heaven back home or whatever. And she going out with the kids, you know, she's spending a little time with her children. And one thing about it, and 2 things for certain, Lockjaw is not a ugly lady. Like, she's not a bad looking woman. It's just that she talk like she can't open her mouth. Like, she talks like she got a mouth full of marbles in it and she can barely open her mouth. That is the part that really irks me with Lockjaw. I need for her to unlock that jaw and open her fucking mouth and say what she got to say. It's annoying. Like, girl, open your damn mouth. Shit. Like, open your mouth. Why can't you open your mouth, girl? I'm sorry, y'all. It just irks me. It just irks me. I can't. It irks me. She just can't open up a damn mouth. It just gets on my nerves. But, you know, she starts talking to her children and she asks them, you know, how do they feel about the family dynamic? And then her son says that the secret beef is weird for the family dynamic. You know, the secret beef that, you know, Trish and Marquez and Ken got. That's the thing. They don't realize how they're affecting the kids with this dumb shit that they got going on. See, I think that parents have that bad where they don't realize how the shit that they're going through as parents is really fucking with the kids and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. Like, it's really fucking with the children and you really don't get it or don't understand. But kids see shit. We're not stupid. Like growing up, I knew my mom and daddy and stepmama didn't like each other, especially my mama and my stepmama. I try not to speak on that because, you know, they're my sisters and brothers, you know, mama and shit, so I don't speak on that, you know. But I know they didn't like each other for shit. Both on cancers too. Go figure. But they hated each other. I think they still do, but you know, they don't have to be around each other because my stepmom in Jersey, my mama down here, down there in Mississippi, so they ain't got to see each other, child. They probably ain't seen each other in years, actually. But yeah, we see that shit. So you know, it's nothing. Trisha said, well, that's why I filed for a divorce. That's why I asked for a divorce. You filed for a divorce, but you ain't made it finalized yet. Like, it don't really matter until you make it finalized. You feel what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. Like, I just think that Trisha really makes herself look crazy with some of the ways that she moves and shit like that. Like, girl, you move weird. That's why people look at you like you weird, because you move weird, and it's weird. You know what I mean? Like, girl, just look at the shit that you do and see that it's not looking too good for you. Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, girl, just look and see how you moving. Like, it don't look right. And the fact that your family was looking at you crazy because they didn't know shit about Ken, that sign that meant something. Like, it's like, girl, like, even your family didn't know about him. That's kind of odd, and it's kind of strange to me, but that's whatever. By the way, I just checked the subscriber count, you guys. We only need 10 subscribers now to hit 56K. That's all we need. But I had to throw that in. But yeah, so I think that her kids have more sense than her, because Trish and Ken, they act like they got a couple of loose screws. It's one thing to have all your screws tighten up except one, but I think all they damn screws loose in their brain. Trisha can barely talk. She talk like she got a damn stroke. Ken look like a muscle-bound idiot who don't realize that you pushing this, you trying to force yourself to marry somebody who's not ready to marry you. And Trisha ain't got the balls to step up and say how she really feels about that. And it's just crazy to me, and everybody sees it. And then y'all want to get mad when somebody, you know, calls it out for what it is. You know what I mean? Your children see the shit, so you may as well be honest with Ken. It just same way you being honest with your children. And then on top of that, the son asked her, do you plan on remarrying? Not anytime soon. And I'm not mad with that. See, here's the thing with that. A lot of people calling you out about not being ready to marry Ken again. Me personally, I'm not mad at you for not wanting to marry Ken right now, because you just not get a divorce. So I feel like you need that time to fucking heal yourself before you get married. You know what I mean? Like, go through counseling for your previous marriage. Go through counseling to see what problems you and Ken may have that hasn't arisen yet. Go to therapy. You don't need to get out of one marriage and then just hop into another one because you think the nigga fine and dark skinned with a big ass arms and shit. That ain't no way to move. So I just think that, no, Trish, you doing the right thing by not wanting to get married right now. I really feel you on that. I don't have no issue with that. Trust and believe me, I do not have an issue with that at all. But you need to be straight up with Ken, because I don't think he gets it. I don't think he really gets it, and I don't think that he understands what you're trying to say. You're not saying that you don't want to marry him. You're saying that you don't want to marry him right now. And I think that is the issue, and you and Ken gonna always have a blockage there because you're not being completely honest. You ain't ready for another marriage right now. You're not, and that is okay. No one can get mad with you for simply saying that you are not ready for another marriage. And a lot of people are saying, just like Parker Boy, which is one of my moderators, he said her and Ken been together for 2 years. They've been together for 2 years, but she's still been married this entire time. And you know what I mean? She's not ready. Some people don't know if they, like, you know, she got with Ken while she was separated from Marquez. She's not ready. She's not ready. You know what I mean? Like, I've been out, like, I hadn't had a relationship in about 5 years before I started dating. You know what I mean? And I took out that time to figure out whether I was ready to date again or not. The last time I had been in a relationship was in 2019. I briefly dated someone in 2021. And then, of course, I started dating somebody else, in 2023 up until now. So it's just like, yeah, I had to wait a minute before I decided to hop into a relationship. Yeah, I was fucking, but I wasn't dating nobody. I wasn't trying to take nobody seriously at all. So that was the case there. So it is what it is. So I don't see nothing necessarily wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with the shit at all. But to each his own. Hold on, y'all. And on top of that, she has dealt with a lot of angst in her life, a lot of death, a lot of things like that. So there's a lot that she has dealt with and went through that is not conducive to her hopping into marriage. I just feel like, yes, Tasha, I was just about to say that. Ken loves Trisha more than Trisha loves him. Hell, Ken loves Trisha more than he loves his damn self. If you want me to be honest. But yeah, there has to be some serious counseling there. She just got to be stern and straight up with him about exactly what it is that she wants. That's really what I think. And that's just what it is. But I think that Ken, in a sense, want to control shit too. And that's also a problem. You can't bomb rush somebody to get married to your ass either. You know what I mean? You can't bum rush a marriage. You got to let this shit work out. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Moving on to the next thing. So we get into Trish and Nell. So Nell invites Trisha over to eat celery, cherry tomatoes and fucking carrots and ranch dressing and shit. And they sit down and they talk. And Nell was like, well, you invited me over to your home, so I felt like it's time for me to invite you to mine. And she was like, yes, I agree, or whatever. So Nell opens up the conversation by asking Trish about her messing with Martell. And I'm looking at the screen like, why in the fuck are we talking about her and Martell fooling around again? Do we give a damn? Do we care? Why the fuck we still talking about this? When I tell y'all, I'm so goddamn tired of talking about a situation that none of us would never know the truth about because ain't nobody honest on this motherfucking show. I'm so sick of hearing about this shit. I promise you, I'm sick of hearing about it. But Trisha explains the night with Martell. She says that she came over, she sat on the couch, they looked at a movie. He was over there talking about his family, how he wanted his family back and things like that. So, she said, but he never came on to her. He never tried to come on to her. It was basically like she was over there being his therapist in a sense or whatever. And so then I'm like, okay. And then she said she probably should have just said something before it came out the way that it did. Maybe you should have. But now I don't want to talk about this shit no more. Move on. Like we could have been resolved this whole story months ago. On the first half of the season, we should have several times with this goddamn story because we don't care. Why the fuck are we constantly talking about Martell? Martell ain't shit to talk about. We don't care. Moving on. So, Trish says that Ken and Marquez don't get along. You know what I mean? Like they don't get along at all. They don't get along. We know they don't get along. We don't give a fuck. Trish says that while she was married to Marquez, he left to go and find himself. And then she was like, Nell was like, what do you mean go find himself? She said he needed to go find himself. And while he was finding himself, I was losing my mama. I lost my father and my sister. And I felt so bad for Trish in that moment. I felt so bad for her because I know what it feels like to lose several different people months apart, a year apart. That shit is the worst. And sometimes it's like make it stop. Can we please make it stop? Like, it's just too much. And I understand where she's coming from. Like, I really felt her pain in that moment because it's like, girl, what is going on? You know what I mean? Like, why am I going through this? And why do I need to go through this? You feel what I'm saying? So I get it, baby. Like, Trisha, don't get me wrong. Like, you get on my nerves, and I think you're a mannequin, and I think you got lockjaw, permanent lockjaw and shit. But I definitely understand where you coming from when it come down to that. Like, no one deserves to go through that, and nobody deserves to go through that shit by themselves. No one deserves to go through that by themselves at all. And when you're going through stuff like that, all you need is for somebody to feel for you and be there for you and console you through all that. That's not something that you would want to go through by yourself. Luckily, when I was going through all my stuff, I had my friends around. See, I didn't have no man back then. I didn't have no man to really hold me down. And you know, like I'll be honest, all my exes was in my messages, consoling me, calling me, FaceTiming me, trying to see if I'm okay, stopping by the house and all that stuff. And they weren't even trying to fuck. They were just really trying to see how I was doing. That goes to show you, when all your exes fuck with you still and all your exes reach out to you all at the same time, that must mean something. I must have really put it down the way I was supposed to. However, that ain't got nothing to do with that. Don't nobody want to go through that stuff by themselves. And I really believe, just like Miss AKA said, why y'all in my head? Because I was finna say that. Everybody wonders why she hates Marquez so much. And I really believe that she hates Marquez this much because of the fact that he wasn't there for her when she went through all that shit that she went through. He wasn't there. In the words of K. Michelle, none of y'all was there. None of y'all. You weren't there. So, of course, she got a little bit of resentment towards him because he wasn't the fuck there. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why she ain't fucking with him. That's why she don't see it for him. That's why she don't like him like that, because of the simple fact that you left me, you abandoned me at my lowest point. And anybody, and I do mean anybody, would feel some type of way when a motherfucker done sat there and abandoned their ass when they were going through their worst struggle in the world. Losing their mama, losing their daddy, their sister down in their arms. That's too much for anybody to go through. Now, I know that a lot of y'all don't like Trish. I ain't the biggest fan of her ass either. But you cannot sit up here, look me in my face and tell me that you didn't feel shit when Trish was going through that. Because I felt her. I felt so bad for Trish in that moment. I really did. And this is another reason why I feel like she needs to go to therapy and not get married to Ken right now. So many unresolved underlying issues. She got to get over the trauma. She got to treat it the right way, in my opinion. Moving on. So Chris and Nell and the kids, they visit Nell's mom's grave. Lance was basically saying that a lot of his hurt comes from the fact that he feels as though he wasn't there with the grandmama the way that he felt that he should. He was too busy focusing on other things and didn't really have the time to put any focus on his dying grandmama. He didn't even realize that his grandmama was on her last leg at that particular time. And to be honest, don't feel bad, Lance, because a lot of us be doing that. You know what I mean? A lot of us be feeling like that. Like, we don't realize, we take the time for granted. We take it for granted. When my uncle died in 2021, when he was doing hospice at our house, it was so hard for me to be around him because he was going through throat cancer. And you know how it is with cancer. Cancer would eat you up, and it was eating him up. He didn't even... he didn't even look like himself. Like, he didn't even look like himself. Like, he was not recognizable. Like, his face was pushed in. He was very skinny. Like, he lost a lot of weight. He was so terribly skinny. He was wearing a pamper. Like, I could not stand to look at him in that state. I could not sit in a room with him for a long period of time watching him like that. And I come in there, I speak to him, I talk to him for a few minutes, and I go in my room because I could not see that. I could not see that. And when he passed away, I was the last person he communicated with when he passed away. He said goodnight to me, and the next morning he was dead. That stuck with me forever. That's just like when my aunt Bertha passed away. She was in the hospital for months and I wouldn't go see her. I wouldn't go see her. I didn't want to see her like that. When my aunt Minnie Mae passed away, she had one eye. I couldn't stand to see her like that. She had gotten so sick, she lost one of her eyes. I couldn't do it. And I felt so bad when she passed away because my mother would tell me, "Oh, Minnie Mae was asking about you. She was looking for you. Why won't you go?" My mama tried to get me to go in there and go see her so many times, and I wouldn't go do it because of my own personal shit. I didn't want to see her like that. And when she passed away, I felt so bad because she had been asking for me. She hadn't seen me in a long time. And I felt so bad when I found out that she died because I'm like, oh my God, she didn't get to see me before she passed. So sometimes we think about our own personal stuff and then we try to engulf ourselves with our own stuff and we try to keep ourselves busy and, do things to keep our mind off of it, not really realizing that time is very valuable and we cannot take it for granted. So I understood what Lance was saying and I understood Nell when she was standing there crying. The episode was boring, but it was key moments like the one with Trisha and Nell or this particular moment that made me feel things. So shout out to Nell and Trisha for keeping it all the way real. Like that was a lot. That was a whole lot. Now we get to Nell's bachelorette party. Trish says that she ain't finna drink shit tonight. She gonna leave everybody else to the drinking. Destiny speaks on the Nell thing, and she was, basically saying what she said about the whole assessing her relationship with Nell because Nell wanted Sonny at the party, this and that. Mel walks in and the energy changes. And when I tell you, because when everybody else was coming, it was like, hey, my baby, hey, girl, hey, girl. But then when she walked in, it's like, oh, hey. That's how you know a group of motherfuckers don't like your ass. That's how you know a group of motherfuckers don't like your ass because like the way that energy shifted when Mel walked up in that room, it's like, girl, these motherfuckers don't like you. They don't like you, girl. That's why I keep on saying she need to leave because these girls don't did that. When like as soon as she walked in, the whole energy changed. But what I will say, Mel came in there without makeup on, and Mel looks good without makeup. That's one thing I've never denied about her ass. As much as she get on my motherfucking nerves, she looks good with or without makeup. She looks good. Like that's a beautiful annoying motherfucker. Like for real. Like she is. I can't say that. Kimmy says that I hate how it is when we all get together at events like this and the energy is just so rough because everybody's so standoffish. Y'all are standoffish because you motherfuckers don't like each other. Y'all are standoffish because all y'all fake as hell, and it's standoffish because everybody's forcing this shit. That's why it's all standoffish. That's the reason why, Miss Kimmy. That's why it's all standoffish because you motherfuckers don't like each other, and you're messy and you're fake. All y'all. Next thing you know, Kimmy says, "Did you talk to Trish?" And then that's when no, did you talk to Mel? And then Trish was like, "No." And then Kimmy was like, "Well, why did you do this? Why you didn't have to say it that quickly or whatever, right?" So then that's when Mel was like, yeah, because do you have a problem with me?" And I'm like, nah. Anytime a motherfucker walk up in the building and say, "You got a problem with me?" they want the smoke. And I'm going to tell you just like this. I ain't going to sit up here and lie to you. It's been many a times I've heard that a punk got a problem with me. And I done walked in the room with their ass. And I'm like, "Hey, nigga, you got a problem with me? Like, what's the tea? Like, what's your issue with me? Because I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. If you ask me, I'm ready like Alicia Keys. Like, what's the issue?" I'm telling you, you can ask JoJo that, you can ask anybody. I have walked in the room and I spot somebody without having heard it and said something about me, and I'm like, "Hey, come here for a second. I ain't gonna do this in front of the peanut gallery. What's going on? Hey, so you got an issue with me? Like, what's good? Like, what's going on?" Mel came in there with that energy now. She wanted to know, and that's just what happened. So That's when Trish says that she ain't got no problem with her. And then Kimmy said, I'm surprised you said no. I'm like, Kimmy, it's messy. This is one messy motherfucker. Okay. So then Trish says, I don't have a problem with her. I feel like she was instigating at that party. I did feel like Mel was instigating at that party when she said, why you doing the most? Like, you must still love him. I thought that was being messy and instigating. I think I said that in my review. You know what I mean? And so, but at the same point in time, though, we got to be honest here. When Mel said that everybody was messy and that she shouldn't be the only one penalized, I agree. Everybody has something to say about it. Every single person in the motherfucking room, in that room, have had something to say about your situation with Ken. Everybody's talking about that situation with Ken because y'all have made this shit a conversation with Ken and Marquez. And that's just what it is. Now, I'm not going to say that I agree with everybody saying that, oh, Trish just don't like Mel because Marquez want to fuck Mel. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Y'all need to stop trying to make it seem like everybody's jealous of that young lady. Ain't nobody jealous of that young whippersnapper. Everybody ain't jealous of her. Some people, if you don't like somebody sometimes, you just don't like them. You don't like the way they move. You don't like what they do. Like, that's just what it is. It don't automatically mean that a bitch jealous of you just because they don't fuck with you like that. I don't necessarily think that she don't like Mel because of Marquez. I really don't think she gives a fuck about Marquez, to be honest. But at the same point in time, I think that they already had underlying issues to begin with because of the Martell thing. Mel already felt some type of way about the girl sitting up in her face not telling her that she didn't been to her house before. That was one thing. Then when she questioned her about it and interrogated her ass about it at that lunch table, that was another thing. She probably still felt some way about that. And then, Mel coming to her house, instigating and saying little shit. She probably felt some type of way about Mel from the very beginning because of certain shit that was going on, and she wasn't too sure about how Mel felt about her. But if you're going to feel some type of way about what Mel then said, you may as well feel some type of way about Stormy because she called you out in front of everybody. That's supposed to be your friend. You may as well call out Destiny because that's your friend and she has some shit to say. Tisha, everybody has something to say. So I don't even understand why you so mad at her. And on top of that, when it come down to Kimmy, you should be mad at Kimmy because that's the person you was cool with, and she ran over there to Melody, a person that she really don't fuck with like that, and told her exactly what the fuck you said. So if you want to have an attitude with somebody, you got to have attitudes all the way around with all these motherfuckers in this group, to be honest, because all of them fake. All of them don't really have no real interest in each other at all. Ain't none of them really looking out for each other. Don't none of them know what the fuck the code is. None of them. So if you want to be mad with somebody, be mad with everybody. I ain't saying that Mel wasn't instigating because I definitely think that she was, but all of them were being messy and everybody was saying something. And I do agree with Mel when she says everybody's messy, but Trish disagrees. I don't see how she disagrees when everybody was still talking about it. So I don't understand. She says, Mel said that it was a joke, but then Trish said, well, it wasn't a joke to me. And I do understand that because Mel knows that if somebody says, well, the only reason why you taking Martell through the shit you taking him through is because you still love him. At the end of the day, if somebody told Mel that she still love Martell, Mel would be ready to throw a damn glass at your ass the moment you open up your mouth and say that. So we ain't gonna lie here. You can't just discount somebody else's feelings because you don't give a fuck about them. I'm just saying, if somebody looked you in your face and said, well, you dragging his ass because of the fact that you still want him and you still love his ass, okay? You would not like that if somebody said that to you, Mel, okay? And that doesn't negate nothing that I just said about Trish and how I feel like it's a double standard. But we got to be honest all the way around. If somebody said that to you, you wouldn't like it. So let's just be honest. Okay? Then Trish and Mel, they going back and forth. And honestly, it was a good back and forth to me. Like, Trish did not hold back. Mel did not hold back. Mel came with the energy. She wanted to smoke. And Trisha was not against or opposed to giving her that smoke. I'm just saying she wasn't. So I like a good back and forth with two motherfuckers that ain't scared of each other. Like, give it to me, okay? Because I asked for it, so give it to me. That's how I feel. So I ain't really mad at the exchange between the two of them because it was bound to happen anyway. So it is what it is. But then Sunny arrives, Cloudy arrives, and it's to be continued at this point. And that's it. I'm surprised I gave y'all 40 minutes. I'm surprised I gave y'all 40 minutes because it really wasn't all that. It wasn't that great of an episode, but I think I had a little bit of talking points that actually mattered. But you know, it is what it is, though. But I hope y'all enjoyed this review for what it was worth, though. We almost had 500 people up in here, but as I said, y'all, at this particular point, we need 6 more subscribers before we hit 56K. So if you guys if you know, it's already almost 500 of y'all up in here. So if some of y'all are new here and you just now tune in for the very first time, go ahead and click the subscribe button, baby, because we only need 6 more subs to get to 56K so we can start our journey with my minimum goal of 60K and my maximum goal of 65K. Let's get into it, y'all. I'll see you guys later for Real Housewives of Potomac and probably Married to Medicine as well. We're going to see how it goes down. I'm out of here, and until my next video, I'll talk to you guys later.